Mask acne, and what you can do about it. Mask acne is the phenomenon where, as you're wearing a mask because it is required for your work or because you live in the middle of a pandemic, you start to break out, specifically around the chin, jaw, and upper lip area. Sometimes these are cystic pimples that become inflamed, especially if you are more acne prone, and sometimes they are more of these white pustules or even small, tiny blackheads. Because the viewers of this channel are kind and believe in helping others and doing what you can to make this world a better place, you wear a mask to protect a bit of yourself, but mainly to protect others. And unfortunately, because of this, there is a small subset of people who are starting to develop acne in this area. I want to make it clear that not everybody who wears a mask gets mask acne or maskne. This seems to happen in a very small percentage of people. I would guess that's around 5%. However, that is not an official number. Also, that being said, you're probably wondering, who's this bitch with the relatively clear skin and acne scars sitting here talking to me about acne? I'm a medical esthetician, meaning I've been in professional healthcare settings in which I am required to wear a mask, especially if you're helping out with procedures or with someone in which you don't want to infect them, or you do want to protect yourself from, bodily fluid splatters. I've also suffered with acne for over 15 years, and I know both the physical pain as well as the emotional struggle that it can cause. I learned how to clear my own skin by literally studying medicine and aesthetics, and got myself to here, where I present to you my face with no foundation in the middle of a pandemic, with yes, some breakouts that I still experience on my chest and back. Hello! Because I've been there and understand the science behind skincare, we're going to talk about why this happens and what you can do. So first off, why this happens. You see, if you work in a healthcare setting, wearing a mask is nothing new. You're usually given disposable ones like this that you wear, and then you throw away after each patient. This ensures that you're not spreading things from one patient's room to the next. However, because of the state of the world that we are currently living in, and the fact that there is a mask shortage combined with poor leadership decisions on how to manufacture and distribute the masks that we do have, a lot of people have been using ones like these. This happens to be a UV filter one that my mom's friend kindly made for me, and it is reusable. It kind of looks like a thong or a jock strap. I totally and fully understand that. However, this does protect other people from me spraying my particles and saliva onto their face and into their vicinity. It does not change my oxygen saturation, meaning that I'm still getting a normal amount of air and can breathe well. There's not extra CO2 in here, and even if I was wearing one of these masks or an N95 mask or even 3 layers of masks, my oxygen saturation would still be high enough for me to breathe and function normally. Because that's what we actually do in surgery to protect both the patient and the surgeon and whoever is in the operating room from inhaling any particles that are, coming out of someone's open abdomen as fluid is being suctioned out of their body. You can bet that that creates little particles that you don't want to breathe in. However, because these are usually cotton or a similar material, they can create a bit of moisture. Think about your sweaty gym shorts. What happens if you work out and you leave them sweaty and sticky on your body? You hope that they will dry out, but there are some areas that they don't always do that in. That moisture can be a breeding ground for bacteria, little funguses, and things that naturally live on our skin. This could include malassezia, which is a yeast that's naturally living on our skin. It's a fungus, but it can cause what people refer to as fungal acne. We also naturally have Cutibacterium acnes in our skin at all times. However, when it takes over, that causes breakouts. You can imagine that in a warmer and a slightly more steamy environment, how this heat might play a role in a little bit of inflammation or discomfort, and that moisture, might promote certain things to grow on the skin. You can also imagine that if this is literally rubbing up against the face, if you do have makeup or oil or dirt on there, coupled with this action could actually cause some irritation or other bumps or blisters caused by repetitive irritation to the skin. Now, this is not a reason to stop using our mask or to avoid one altogether, because there are some solutions for it. And again, the first one and probably the easiest is to make sure that you are using a mask that is disposable, that can be thrown out after each use. And again, in a healthcare setting, this normally happens every 30 minutes to every hour. So we do have a chance to let the skin breathe. However, because of the current situation where people are having to reuse masks, hospital beds are becoming overwhelmed, and even if you work in a retail setting, at a grocery store, at a post office or another essential service, you're probably using one of these. You probably don't have the ability to use a disposable mask like this, and your employer probably isn't paying for it, unfortunately. That being said, what are we gonna do to treat these little fuckers? Yes, I called them fuckers because they're annoying. And it pisses me off that people are using them as an excuse to not wear a mask, okay? Remember that when it comes to any acne breakout, there are active ingredients in skincare that have been proven by medicine to work, and that people, when they use them, generally see positive results. This includes salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, retinoic acid, or retinol, as well as things like sulfur. So again, when it comes to treating acne, look for skincare products that have some or multiple of these ingredients in there. Some of my favorite ingredients for acne come from the vitamin A family or the retinoid family. This includes retinoids that you find over the counter, this includes retinaldehyde, and this also includes retinoic acid, which you can get as a prescription from your doctor. The good thing about retinoids is that they can be used day and night. I personally like to use them at night, but they are okay during the day. They just degrade with sunlight. But think about it, if you spot treat them over this area and you're wearing a mask, especially if it's a UV filter one, you're doing a pretty good job at protecting them anyways. Retinoids can be notoriously difficult for skin because they can be drying, but if you can work yourself up to once a day use or even twice a day use, you can use this retinoid in the morning and in the evening and just cover it under your mask. Of course, if you're using a prescription product, talk to your doctor, and if you are using an over-the-counter retinoid, make sure that you do read the manufacturer's instructions. But depending on the formula that you're using, for someone who comes in and starts complaining of mask acne to me, that is what I would personally recommend. The other thing that you could do is wear a spot treatment underneath your mask the entire day. You think about it, we put spot treatments on and maybe we wear them overnight when we sleep and then we wake up and wash it off the next morning. There is the possibility of wearing that spot treatment underneath your mask all day long. I would prefer something like sulfur for this. Sulfur is a great spot treatment. Again, it is FDA approved for acne, and medical studies as well as people's personal experience say that it works. And especially if you've exhausted some of these more regular options, sulfur is a really good one to pivot to. You could also do something like benzoyl peroxide. I love this as a spot treatment because it can be very drying to the face, but right on a spot it's perfect. Just remember that it stains, so if you don't want to stain your mask, you might not want to use this one. I would personally recommend benzoyl peroxide with ones like these that you don't mind staining, whereas I would recommend sulfur with something like this. Again, once you take that mask off, your skincare routine should have things such as a good cleanser, maybe with salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide. You should have a toner that balances the skin, and even a moisturizer that has salicylic acid or another AHA/BHA complex to help with that acne. But something else you can do is just the way you wash your skin every day, make sure that you're washing your mask. You think about it, this is also going over one of the orifices of our body that, similar to other areas of our body, has the chance to hold and foster bacteria and growth, and it excretes things. And so just the way we would wash other garments, we should be washing these too. I do, however, recommend washing these in a laundry detergent that either doesn't have fragrance or doesn't have irritants. When I was actually struggling with my body acne, I would find that I would have acne literally in the line of my tank tops, and I thought, what the hell is going on? And I realized that my body was reacting to my laundry detergent, and as my body's sweat would mix with whatever was left over in the residue of my garments, it would actually cause breakouts on my body. So especially for something like this that is being pressed up against your face, make sure that you're washing something that is preferably fragrance-free and doesn't have anything irritating in it. As the world, at least here in San Francisco, starts to open back up, I also see a lot of people wearing makeup underneath their masks. Think about it, if you have this mask on, don't wear makeup in this area. Makeup that stays on the skin could potentially introduce some irritants, it could contribute to clogged pores, and especially makeup particles in combination with this rubbing where the mask might touch, that could push things into the skin deeper or just cause irritation and inflammation that you don't need. So please, from here down, skip the makeup. And if you want to, I challenge you to skip the makeup overall if you feel adventurous or comfortable. The other thing, which is probably the best thing I can recommend, is just wear the mask. It does cover the acne, so that way at least others can't see it. And again, it slightly protects you, but it also protects the other people who are more vulnerable because of autoimmune diseases, because of immunocompromise, or because of other issues that they literally cannot help. This is a really strange time in the world where other people's lives are literally in your hands, and I know that not everyone is taking that as seriously as they should. That even includes the influencer world, but the viewers of this channel are smart. That's why you watch these videos, you educate yourself about skincare, you learn about what companies are ethical and moral and which ones aren't, and you do what you can to align your morals and values with the products you buy and the actions you take. And for that, I am inspired by you. Go ahead and turn that like button as blue as this mask, even though this one's kind of like a nice Operation Room minty green. And if that subscribe button is red, go ahead and slap a mask on it until it turns gray. Always remember to be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.